This is the Imperial Japanese Navy. From the massive Yamato to the deadly destroyers, a complete catalog of 60 ships that define Japan's World War II fleet. Let's begin with the aircraft carriers. The mobile airfields, Akagi, the Red Castle, the flagship of the strike force. Originally a battlecruiser, her massive downward curved funnel made her the most recognizable ship in the fleet. Kaga, the increased joy, converted from a battleship hull. Though slower than Akagi, she carried a massive air group and huge 8-inch guns, a relic of old naval thinking. Soryu, the Blue Dragon, fast and efficient. She was the first Japanese carrier designed from the keel up as a carrier, setting the standard for future designs. Kiryu, the Flying Dragon, the sister to Soryu, distinguished by her island being on the port side. She was the only carrier to launch a counterstrike at Midway. Shokaku, the Soaring Crane, the perfect carrier, fast, heavily armored, and capable of carrying over 70 aircraft. She fought in almost every major carrier duel of the war. Zuikaku, the Auspicious Crane, the lucky ship. Sister to Shokaku, she survived battle after battle without taking a hit, remaining the last survivor of the Pearl Harbor attack force until 1944. Taiho, the Great Phoenix, the first Japanese carrier built with an armored flight deck. She was the hope of the late war Navy but was lost to a single torpedo due to a fuel vapor explosion. Shinano, the largest aircraft carrier of World War II. Built on the hull of a Yamato-class battleship, she was a floating fortress designed to support other carriers. Ryujo, the Prancing Dragon, a light carrier with a distinct flush deck. She looked top-heavy and awkward, yet she fought fiercely in the Aleutians and the Solomons. Hayo, the Flying Hawk, converted from a luxury ocean liner. While slow, she possessed a large hangar capacity and a tall, distinct smokestack tilted outward. Junyo, the sister to Hayo, she was one of the few large carriers to survive the war, often used to transport planes to island bases. Zuho, a light carrier converted from a submarine tender. Fast and useful, she was used as a sacrificial decoy during the Battle of Leyte Gulf. Shoho, the first Japanese carrier to be sunk by the U.S. Navy. Her loss at the Battle of the Coral Sea checked the Japanese advance for the first time. Chitose, a seaplane tender converted into a light aircraft carrier, a desperate addition to the fleet to replace the losses at Midway. Chiyoda, the sister to Chitose. She served in the decoy force and was sunk by American cruisers. Teo, an escort carrier converted from a passenger liner, used primarily to protect convoys and ferry aircraft rather than for fleet combat. Moving on to the battleships, the Iron Giants. Yamato, the heaviest and most powerfully armed battleship ever constructed. Armed with 9 18.1-inch guns, she was the ultimate symbol of imperial power. Musashi, the sister ship to Yamato, a floating fortress. During the battle for Leyte Gulf, she absorbed an incredible 19 torpedoes and 17 bombs before finally sinking. Nagato, the pride of the pre-war Navy. She fired the opening shots of the war order for Pearl Harbor and was the only Japanese battleship to survive the war afloat. Matsu, the sister to Nagato. She carried the same massive 16-inch guns but was lost not to enemy fire, but to a mysterious magazine explosion at anchor. Kongo, originally a British-built battlecruiser, upgraded to a fast battleship. She was the only Japanese battleship to sink a major American warship with gunfire in a surface duel. Haruna, the survivor of the Kongo class. She was falsely reported sunk so many times by American media that she became a legend for her resilience. Kirishima, the Fog Island, famous for her night duel against the USS Washington at Guadalcanal, where she was hammered by 16-inch shells at point-blank range. Hai, the Emperor's favorite transport before the war. She was the first Japanese battleship lost in World War II after a brutal night brawl at Guadalcanal. Essie, a hybrid battleship. Her rear turrets were removed and replaced with a flight deck to launch seaplanes, a strange mix that saw little success. Hyuga, the sister to ISC. She ended the war as a floating anti-aircraft battery in a Japanese harbor. Fuso, the pagoda mast, distinguished by her incredibly tall, complex superstructure. She was an older dreadnought that met a tragic end in the Surigao Strait. Yamashiro, the sister to Fuso. She fought bravely against a superior American battle line in the last battleship versus battleship engagement in history. Next, the heavy cruisers, the fists of the fleet, Takao. Easily identified by her massive, castle-like bridge structure, she was designed to command fleet squadrons. Tago, the sister to Takao and the flagship of the Second Fleet. She was the command ship during the night battles of Guadalcanal. Maya, another Takao-class sister, distinct for being converted into an anti-aircraft cruiser, bristling with extra guns to fight off American planes. Chokai, the cruiser that led the massacre at the Battle of Savo Island, handing the U.S. Navy its worst defeat in a fair fight. Myoko, the pioneer of the 10,000-ton treaty cruisers, fast, heavily armed, and served in every corner of the Pacific. Aguro, a Myoko-class cruiser famous for her durability and for being one of the last heavy cruisers operational in the war. Mogami, originally built as a light cruiser to cheat treaties. After damage at Midway, she was converted into an aircraft cruiser carrying 11 float planes. Kumano, known as the Ship of 9 Lives for her ability to survive massive damage, though she was eventually sunk by aircraft. Tone, the reconnaissance cruiser. All her main guns were placed on the bow, leaving the rear deck free to launch search planes to find the American fleet. Chikuma, the sister to Tone. Her scout planes played a pivotal role in the Battle of Midway. Oba, an older generation cruiser, smaller than the others, but her crew were experts at savage night fighting. Kinagasa, the first Japanese heavy cruiser equipped with an aircraft catapult. Light cruisers and torpedo cruisers, the leaders of the torpedo squadrons. Sendai, the Night Raider, designed specifically to lead destroyer flotillas into chaotic night battles using searchlights and torpedoes. Jinsu, she fought a legendary solo battle at Kalimbangara, absorbing fire from 3 Allied cruisers to allow her destroyers to escape. Agano, the modern light cruiser, sleek and fast, designed to replace the aging fleet leaders. Yahagi, the escort of the Yamato, she fought bravely alongside the battleship on their final suicide mission to Okinawa. Odo, a specialized command cruiser with a large hangar. She served as the flagship of the combined fleet late in the war. Yubari, the experimental cruiser, a tiny ship that packed the firepower of a much larger vessel. Tenryu, the Old Guard, a small, 3-funneled cruiser that was the oldest in the fleet but still fought in the early island campaigns. Kitakami, the torpedo cruiser, modified to carry 40 torpedo tubes. She was designed to create a wall of torpedoes against the U.S. fleet. Katori, a training cruiser, though slow and undergunned, she fought a hopeless battle against the battleship USS Iowa at Truck Lagoon. Destroyers and escorts, the wolves of the ocean. Fubuki class, the Game Changer, the world's first modern destroyer. With enclosed turrets and heavy torpedo armament, they shocked Western navies. Kajiro class, the perfect balance. These destroyers were the backbone of the fleet, combining speed, range, and the deadly long lance torpedo. Yukike's, the unsinkable ship, a Kajiro-class destroyer that survived virtually every major naval battle of the war without major damage. Shigure, the indestructible. Like Yukike's, she had a reputation for incredible luck, surviving battles that sank the rest of her squadron. Shimike's, the Island Wind, an experimental speed demon. Powered by a massive high-pressure steam engine, she was one of the fastest destroyers ever built. Akizuki, the Guardian, designed specifically for anti-aircraft defense, armed with rapid-fire 100mm guns to protect the carriers. Yugimo class, an improvement on the Kajiro class. They were the frontline warriors of the mid-war period. Mitsuki class, the veterans, older destroyers mainly used for Tokyo Express transport runs to reinforce jungle islands. Matsu class, the war emergency destroyers, smaller, cheaper, and mass-produced in the final years to defend convoys. Shimushu class, the Kaiboken, small coastal defense ships built in large numbers to desperately fight off American submarines. Akashi, the only dedicated repair ship of the Japanese Navy. Her ability to fix ships at forward bases made her a high-priority target for the U.S. Finally, the underwater force and secret weapons. I-400 class, the Sentoku, the underwater aircraft carriers, the largest submarines of World War II, designed to carry 3 floatplane bombers to attack the U.S. mainland. Type B submarine, the Scout. These carried a small reconnaissance plane in a watertight hangar to scout Allied harbors. I-58, the submarine that sank the USS Indianapolis in the final weeks of the war. Row-class, coastal submarines used for defense of the home islands. Caton, the Return to Heaven, suicide torpedoes piloted by a human. Launched from a mother submarine, these were the underwater equivalent of the kamikaze. Shinyo, the Seaquake, small plywood motorboats packed with explosives designed to swarm invasion fleets. From the technological marvel of the Yamato to the terrifying innovation of the Caton, the Imperial Japanese Navy was a force of immense power. A fleet built for the decisive battle that ultimately vanished beneath the waves. Which of these ships is your favorite? Let me know in the comments.